Hello and welcome back to my channel. I guess it's been a while and I've kind of been, doing off-season things and trying to decide what I'm doing with competing. And I will have another follow-up video to come with what I'm doing for next year and what my plans are for competing, but you'll just have to stay tuned for that. But today I am here to talk about competing on a budget. All right, so for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Brittany. I am a wellness competitor. I have been competing since 2019, and I've done 6 shows. I got into bodybuilding I would say I've been in the gym since I was 21, and I'm going to be 32 in a couple months. So yeah, it's been a while. I've kind of been in this working out game, and I remember going to my first bodybuilding show when I was in high school, and my mom's friend, who was a personal trainer, he told me I had the best calves he's ever seen and that I should get into competing. And it obviously took me until I was 27. Yeah, until I was 27 to start competing. So I was late to the game with competing, but I'm glad I did because honestly, it has changed my life for the better. And I would say it's definitely become a hobby of mine, and it replaced what sports did for me. Growing up, I played hockey, and this is my now sport in my life. So I know some of you won't call it a sport, but I truly believe it's a sport because sometimes it even takes more willpower, motivation, drive, the desire than sports even. This is the hardest, strictest, per se, sport I've ever had to do in my life. So those of you who don't think it's a sport, you can say that, but I truly believe it's a sport. But over the past, I guess they said 4 years now of competing, almost 5 years, I have been really savvy when it comes to competing on a budget. I've managed to get away without having to spend thousands of dollars on a prep. And you're definitely gonna have to spend a lot of money, but you don't have to break the bank to compete. So I'm gonna kind of go over a few tips and tricks that I've done over the years to help me save money and where to save money and where not to save money on. And first of all, we're going to start with the basics. So it's going to be gym memberships and coaching. A gym membership, I would say, depending what you work out best in. I personally like being in the environment of a gym. I like going to the gym. I'm very competitive. And when I'm at the gym, I always strive to be better, to lift more, to go longer. So for me, working out at home just isn't my thing. But for some people, I believe you can truly work out at home. But to do a contest prep, you'd have to have a variety of weights and machines, because depending on what category you're competing in, you're going to have a variety, especially when it comes to legs and glutes. So you could do it at home, but it would have to be with more than just resistant bands and more than 5-pound dumbbells. So I highly recommend getting a gym. You don't have to break the bank with a gym membership. You can go to your local Good Life. I guess Good Life though has gone up over the years, but there is Fit for Less, which is a sister of Good Life, and that I believe is still maybe around 25 bi-weekly. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can always shop around. I know 24-hour fitnesses are cheaper. Snap fitnesses can be cheaper, and I am here in Canada. So just kind of check around your local area. You can get memberships probably as cheap as $50 a month. Also, ask your gym if they do discounts for certain employees, depending who you work for. Sometimes if you work for if you're a teacher or if you're a nurse or something, or if you work where I'm in Fort McMurray, anyone who works in the oil sands usually gets some sort of discount. So always ask for those discounts. You can get them. So yeah, that's going to be your basic. Where to start off with is definitely gym membership. Second, you're going to go into coaching. And for me, I feel I'm not the best to talk about this because I've never really spent there's a lot of prep coaches out there that are amazing prep coaches that are very expensive, and I've never really had to spend a lot of money on a coach. I have coached myself. Again, when it comes to a coach, that's going to be your kind of biggest, I would say, chunk of money you're going to put into a prep. And they can range from, $150 a month to $290 to $350 a month. Totally depends who you're going for. And I know a lot of these coaches now who are producing a lot of pros, they're going to be up there in price. So if you are wanting to go with one of those top name coaches, definitely set aside most of your budget for one of those. If you aren't, just willing to just your first time and you want to wing it and try it yourself, I would say have a good group around you, people to get like a second opinion, or have people that you know from the gym, or maybe even like pros or other competitors that can give you like a second opinion on how you look, because it is hard to be, to judge yourself and how you're looking with just progress photos alone. You almost need like a second opinion, especially like near the end of prep. So yeah, and I know sometimes too, you can look, there might be some local coaches in your area, and like, I wouldn't necessarily say cheaper is not always, sometimes people are like, oh, you pay for a cheap coach, get cheap results. That's not always the case. And in some cases, you could even, it doesn't hurt to ask a coach if you cannot afford to pay full price. It doesn't hurt ever to just like shoot that guy or girl a message and just say, hey, like, look, this just isn't in my budget. This is what I can afford. Is there anything you can do? And worst comes to worst is they say no. Sometimes they might even say yes, like, I can work in this budget. Let's see what we can do. It might mean you get less attention compared to the paying clientele for them, but it's better than nothing. So that would be, like I said, your biggest money when it comes to prep there. Third, we're going to go over like the cost to compete at a show. So here in Canada in the CPA, and I know in the NPC they have this too, you pay a fee, like a yearly fee, to have like a CPA card or an NPC card. So I believe, I'm trying to think how much it would, I should have looked at exact, but I think it's around like $130 for the year in the CPA. Correct me if I'm wrong. $130 to $150, somewhere in that ballpark, for your yearly fee. And then when it comes to per show, regional is going to be different than national shows, but a regional, usually the entry fee is about $100 per category. So, it's your first time, you might go in on wellness novice. That'll be $99, $100. Then you go wellness A class, so that'll be another $100. So depending on how many categories and how many classes you do in a show, it can range. Personally, when I was competing, I think the first time I came back in CP, I did do 2. I did novice and I did the open. But after that, I was like, I'm not spending, you can't do novice after you've been placed top 3 or 5, I believe. So I didn't want to spend the money. Like for me, like if you are trying to look for a budget, just go in like your height class in the open, because that's what will qualify you for nationals. So get in on like, say you're 5 foot, you'll probably be bikini A. So just do your bikini A open. That will qualify you if you get top 3 to go to nationals. So then when we go to nationals, you're going to be looking at spending, I believe Toronto this year was like $250. So nationals is definitely a pretty penny when it comes to that. So yeah, like that for your budget, like again, right there, that's probably about $500 in fees, if not more, $500 to $600 in fees just to compete. And like I said, do a regional or national, depending on how much you do. But usually my shows in the year, that's what I budget for, like a regional, 1 to 2 regional shows and a national show. So next, you're going to have like your show costs, your show related costs. So that's going to be like your hair and makeup and your tan. Personally, this is where I pretty much scale back a lot of that budget, because if you didn't know, or if you haven't watched my videos, I am also a hairstylist by trade. I've been doing it for 12 years now. And I've taken a course on makeup. I don't actively practice, but I still do a lot on myself to know like stage looks and whatnot. So I save quite a bit of money with doing my hair and makeup. If you are not like, I would say skilled in that category, probably don't cheap out there. But if you want to save money, start practicing, like say you're competing in June, start practicing your hair in July, start practicing your makeup in July and get your looks. There's also a lot of really good tutorials out there on YouTube. You can look on Instagram. I would also look at a lot of like makeup that looks good on the competitors that are winning. So like go to like your top favorite, like so Francielli or Issa, look at who's doing their makeup and look at what kind of makeup they're doing on those competitors, and then kind of go off of, okay, can I replicate this in practice? Because that, again, if you can do that, that'll save you some money. The next one that's going to save you quite a bit of money is your doing your show tan yourself. And again, some people don't feel comfortable, but I do have a video on my channel of how to pro tan yourself for a show. And I use pro tan always. I love the color. It just dries really nice on me. It works really well with my skin tone. So yeah, I will use the overnight competition color base coat, and I'll do 2 to 3 base coats depending on how dark I want to be, and then I will go in. I don't have my top coat with me here right now, but then I'll go in and do my top coat, and this saves me always between $150 to $200 per show doing this. And especially if you're going to compete in multiple shows a season, this, like, I'll buy one base coat and a top coat and it'll last me a season. So right there, and depending, this can vary in Canada. I've paid around $30 for just this on its own and about $40 for the other one. It depends. So right there, I would say budget anywhere from $60 to $100 with like shipping for just the solution, and it usually comes with a mitt. And so yeah, $100 for 3 shows. I'm cutting out $200 to $300 depending on how much the show tan is. Also, what I like is I can tan myself at my convenience. If you watched my last video, sometimes it's not always convenient. Like when I missed my flight for Toronto and I had to tan myself in a gas station bathroom, that's not always ideal. But for me, I just like being able to like go at my own pace. I'm not waiting for the makeup artist. I'm not waiting for hair. I'm not waiting for tan. So for me, show day weekend goes by so smoothly. It's just very easy. I tan myself at my own pace. I always have this to touch up, which is nice too, because and my biggest pet peeve in competing is when I see girls on stage with blotchy tans, or like you can tell where pee or something dribbled down their leg and it just looks bad. I've never had a mucked up tan. I've never had a bad looking tan with Pro Tan. And like I said, I've been doing this ever since I started competing in the CPA. So for me, it's just really easy to do it myself. And I just trust that I won't get mucked up or I won't have blotchy, weird color or anything. So that is what I would highly recommend. If you're not, like, I also tan myself like on a weekly basis with like, say, like my Saint Tropez or the color that I use. Like I have a whole bunch of tanners, but I'm just used to using a mitt. I'm used to exfoliating, doing all that and tanning myself on like a weekly basis, weekly, bi-weekly, however it works out. But I'm just like comfortable and used to it. Again, if you're not comfortable, get this ahead of time. Do like a mock tan. That's what I did the first time I got it, and I did it for a photo shoot, so I knew what it was going to look like. And then I also, when I had the tan on, I practiced doing my stage makeup. So those are some good tips if you want to get better at that and practice it. Again, you can watch my video if you need help on how to tan for the show. Okay, so the next we have, again, show-related costs. You're going to want to get a pair of shoes. So shoes can range you anywhere from $100 to $200. If you are looking to save money, go with a basic shoe. I don't have my shoes on me right now, but I just have the basic. There's no bling on it. It's just a slip on, and I use the Fabulicious shoes. Fabulicious. And I get mine from Shoe Freaks, and it's a Canadian website, so I don't pay any duties or anything. And I've always gotten my shoes either on Black Friday or Boxing Day. So I always wait for a sale, and mostly then you will get the bigger sales on Black Friday or Boxing Day. I got a message from Shoe Freaks this weekend because it was Black Friday saying they had 25% off. So the girls I knew competing, I just sent them a message. I'm like, if you need shoes, get them from Shoe Freaks. It's 25% off. You're going to save a big amount of money, because on a $100 pair of shoes, you can get them for around like $75, which to me, I think when I got my shoes back, when I got them 3 years ago, I paid only like $60 for mine. It was a good deal. They have gone up a bit more. And like I said, the more blingy, the more rhinestones you get, you will pay more. You also can bling your own shoes. I have done that before, but I do not recommend it, because when I would walk and pose, I kept knocking off gems. So I just was like, hey, I'm not gonna I'm not doing this anymore, because it just ended up being more of a pain, and it didn't look as nice quality as like the ones you see on stage. But I did, however, the first year I competed, when I was in bikini, I did bling my own bathing suit, and I made my own suit, which actually turned out to be pretty good. I will insert like a stage photo of it, but this is the color of it. I bought like a basic, I don't know if it was a posing suit or a basic suit on, oh my God, I don't even know the girl who I got it from, but a lot of sites you can just get like a basic suit, and I think this one ran me $100 on its own, and then I put about $100 in rhinestones on it, and I just went to Michael's Fabrics and I bought rhinestones, and I like kind of created a pattern. This one has 3 colors of blue stones and then a batch of like light iridescent stones. So yeah, I will show you what it looks like. To me, like some people say it looks cheap on stage. This one now, like wearing other suits, I can tell the difference. And I know that this one, I didn't hate it on stage, but it could have looked a bit better. So again, I don't like to break the bank when it comes to suits. Sometimes suits can run you up to $1,000 from like Toxic or Angel or any of those. You can also get more I think Muscle Dazzle has reasonable suits for maybe around the 500 mark range. I know KH Customs in Canada, she has very beautiful, I wore one of her suits in 2021 for nationals. Those will run you anywhere from $5. Her pre-made suits you can get for $5, and then they'll run you up to I think like $7 to $8 if you get a custom one. So that's again a little bit more affordable than some of the $1,000 like Toxic ones. You could also get more of the pre-made ones off of, I think Toxic and Angel both have pre-made quick ship suits, and those you can get for like reasonable. But keep in mind, if you're a Canadian girly like anyone up here, you're gonna pay more because our dollar is not as strong compared to the American dollar. Hence where I will say where I got my suits from. And again, if you've watched my vlogs, you've seen my suits. I was in love with this one this year. This is my pink suit I got from a girl in Ukraine, and she is on Etsy where you can order these suits from, and her shop is called Amnesia Shop. And yes, because our dollar is a lot stronger compared to the dollar in Ukraine, it just worked out that this suit, I think this one costed me $290 with shipping and everything, and I think it came within 2 to 3 months. Yeah, watch my video when I talk about it if you want to know more about when that came. But I loved it. It looked really great on stage. Like this color was my absolute favorite. I know pink, like after Maureen wore it for the Olympia last year, it was like all the rage. So I was like, I'm getting a pink suit and I want to be a pink Barbie this year. And I was really happy with the way this one turned out. The bottoms, again, it looks so small. Like looking at them, I'm like, oh, I can't believe I wore it. Yeah, so they also have these like awesome clips on the side, so you don't have to pull your bikini on and off your hips, where with my old one it would like, it almost like wore out the metal in the connectors, and then it would scratch my hips. So this one was awesome because I could literally just clip it on, clip it off. If I had to pee, clip it off, slide it down, really easy. So that was my suit for the Open this year. And then for nationals, so this suit again is from Amnesia Shop. This TJ bought me for my birthday this year, and I was like so happy with this suit. Like I wasn't gonna wear it because it definitely didn't fit as nice as the pink one, but it looked really good on me. Like once I had my hair a little bit lighter, because I did lighten my hair in between Alberta Open and nationals, and when I put this one on in Toronto, I was just like, oh my God, I need to wear this one. Like I love it so much. And in person, it looks like a midnight blue, like a little bit deeper, like more purpley than royal. But on stage, it looked a little bit lighter. Obviously, when I was like tanned and my hair is lighter, I will insert a picture if you guys haven't seen my stage shots. But yeah, this one I believe was like only $240. So this one was even more reasonable priced. This is not a molded cup. This is a triangle cup. There's still my stuffing in it from show day. So yeah, where this other one was a molded cup. Again, totally up to you with what you want to wear. I have implants. My bra size is, I think, like a 36C. So for me, like I looked really booby in this one, where this one was a little bit more tasteful, maybe I'd say. Like they both weren't bad, but I felt like the molded one really like pushed my boobs up and together. And I had a bit of issues with this one when I wasn't lean enough. Like it almost made my boobs not look good because I was holding body fat on my boobs. So yeah, I looked a lot better once I was leaner wearing this one. And then this one, if I were to wear this one again, I might need to just tailor the glute a little bit because I wasn't crazy about the glute cut. I liked the pink one was a lot like way smaller, and it looked like it hugged and lifted my glutes a little bit more. So yeah, right there. You don't have to break the bank. Those are 2 suits I got under $600, like 2 suits. So it was nice to have options, and I would totally like order another one from her. Like I said, it was awesome. I really loved them. I felt like they photographed well. They looked great on stage. I didn't feel like my suit looked tacky or ugly or cheap compared to the other girls. Like you couldn't tell the difference. just pick a suit that looks good on you with the skin color, your hair color. I will maybe talk about that in a further episode about how to pick your suit color based on your hair color and your skin tones. If you want, comment below. I'll go into detail more about that kind of stuff, or like the beauty side, and I can talk about like stage makeup and colors to wear on stage and what not to wear. But yeah, so that is with our I guess like the stage package. I'm trying to think if there's anything else you're gonna have to spend money on when it comes to like in show or there. Oh, photographs. Over the years, I've gotten photographs. I haven't gotten photographs. Luckily enough, like usually my mom like will buy my photographs for me. Like that's like my competing gift. So she bought them in 2021 when I was at Nationals. Zoom did those ones here. This year I opted to, she asked me my mom asked me if I wanted pictures or if I wanted the videography, and I went for the videography. I don't know if you guys too, if you keep up a lot with social media, videography is like a new thing, especially with like Gilko and all those people doing stage videos for show. So personally, I just wanted that like Instagram reel, so I could like use for social media content. So that's where my mom, like where she asked where I wanted that money to go towards, and I put it towards that. So that ran me, I think 150, or I guess ran her $150. So again, if you're going to go for like the photo package and that, I think the photo package is around 152. So you're looking at 300 just for that. Also, MPC Online, CPA, they all post photos on the website. So if you want to be patient and wait, you can access your photographs for free without having to pay for them. Also, Muscle Insider, usually at national shows, they're always there. I got my Muscle Insider photos the next day they were up, I believe, and I saved them. So you don't have to break the bank. Like it just goes with priority. Like I know you're going to want to have stage photos just to remember, but if you plan on competing a lot, save that maybe for the national show, or save that for like one of the 3 to 4 shows you do a year type of thing. Back around to prep, you're going to need a posing coach. I used Taylor in Australia, and some of the posing coaches will have like a 3-pack for a certain price. So if you can find a coach that does like a 3-pack or like, a monthly, like I know Phoebe does like the posing portal. So if you can find someone who does that, that might be better, because posing is one thing you need, and I cannot stress this enough, you need to start doing it like way ahead of time. I started posing, so I competed when I came back to CPA. I started posing in like November, December, and I competed that following July. So I did practice a lot, and I had a different coach at that time, and just find a coach that works well. Like I've worked with 2 different posing coaches, and one I liked more than the other. My throat's getting dry. And yeah, just like go with someone who you like. I know sometimes people like in-person posing better. So maybe try to find someone in your area that can pose you, or someone who has competed. And I know like, cause I just was working with a girl last weekend, and it's sometimes like we all think differently. And like sometimes when you're on video call with someone and it's backwards too, and they're telling you to do this, sometimes it's really hard to comprehend like, oh, okay, so put all your weight to your left, to your right foot, tilt this way. And like, it's a little bit harder. So sometimes when you're in person, it's a little bit easier to grasp that if you learn like that. Like not everyone learns that way, but it's just to figure out what works. I knew for me, like, I feel like I have no brain cells when I'm posing on a video call with a coach, because should be like this. And I just need to be like, I think I more have to like watch someone do it and then try to do it myself. So that's another thing. Like if you don't want to pay for a posing coach, you can watch a lot of tutorials. There's so many free tutorials on YouTube, but just get on it and do it every day, because the more you do it, the better you'll get. I always recommend to people walk around in your heels everywhere, get super comfortable with them, be able to run in your heels like Ashley Kay has on the treadmills before. Like just get comfortable with everything like that. So posing, food, and like this to me is like a non-necessity. Like, is that the word, non-necessity? It's a necessity. So like regardless, you're going to be buying food, but there's a lot of cheaper ways you can go about buying food. I am like the biggest budget shopper. I only buy ground beef when it's on sale. So I usually get like big value packs, anywhere from $10 to $16. at my superstore here in Canada. Sometimes the beef is up to like $24 for the big value pack. I don't buy it. I only buy it when it's on sale. I load up. So I buy a lot of lean ground beef. I don't buy extra lean because I drain and rinse all my lean ground beef. So essentially, I'm just draining all the fat out. I only buy chicken on sale. You can buy a lot of high protein stuff too, like cans of tuna is really cheap. Greek yogurt, I only buy on sale now because Greek yogurt has gone up a lot. I have a rule. I only buy my Greek yogurt if it's under $5 because I think regularly now it's up to like $7 here in Canada. Break the bank. I also switched to buying frozen vegetables, especially in my off season, because to me, I'm like, it's not cheap here in Canada to buy fresh fruit or fresh vegetables. So I'm like, I'm going to buy frozen, all that. So I buy my frozen berries for my oatmeal and my smoothies, and I buy my frozen vegetables. It's just a lot easier. Obviously, some things you can't buy frozen, like cucumbers and tomatoes, but those things are usually a bit more reasonable priced. So just try to find ways. I also have an app on my phone called Flip, and it's like a grocery, and it tells me what is on sale. So if I know I need something, I'll go on that app and go on sale. Same with at my supplement stores. I only buy protein powder on sale. Sometimes I've been finding, and I know this is not always the best, Amazon has had more affordable pricing for like protein powder for me lately, because the supplement store that I bought from up here burnt down, and I had a 30% off discount. I was a VIP member. That's, if you guys don't know, if you compete in the CPA, you can get a discount at Supplement Kings in Canada. So get on that because that'll save you so much money. So yeah, I only will buy protein, whether it's discounted or at a reasonable rate. And when it comes to the big 5-pound tubs, I like P Science. I got the one I got recently, I think for $89. So it's a pretty good value because now the little 2-pound tubs are up to $50 to $60. So buy everything on sale. You'll thank me later. Because it's going to save you so much money, especially prepping. Yeah, there's always ways you can cut corners with that. So roughly, and then one thing I wanted to touch about too is traveling for shows. That was one thing, is I bought my tickets to Toronto, my flights, when there was a seat sale. I got both TJ and my tickets for Toronto for $475 for both of us. That's a steal of a deal. It was from Edmonton, so we had to drive down to Edmonton first and fly out of there. But again, if you're traveling in Canada, going to national shows, try to either go to somewhere that's close or get a seat sale, because we know in Canada, flights are very expensive. They can range up to $700 to $800 to sometimes go to a Canadian city. So don't ever spend full money, especially if I know it's sometimes tough to in advance say, okay, if you're not qualified for nationals, but for me, every year I've just kind of booked that flight and just was hope for the best, hope that I'm going to qualify. Also, you can team up with other people who are competing. If you know other girls or guys, try to share a room with someone. When I go, usually I try to share a room with either my boyfriend or my mom or a friend. It's easier that way because it's cheaper, because the host hotel at nationals especially is usually going to cost you in Toronto, for me, it cost me $800. So just try to save money as much as you can. Always too, for national shows, the host hotel will block out discounted rooms. Get on that right away. I recommend stay at the host hotel. That's where I usually will spend my money, is at the host hotel. I won't cheap out and do a cheaper further away, just because it's easier to be at the host hotel. But again, the province-wide, depending where you live, in Canada, usually shows are within a short distance, usually they're in the capital cities or the bigger places. Better for me to do an Edmonton or Calgary show. Try to go to a show, or even if you're traveling anywhere, I always go somewhere where you know someone who lives, because even if you fly somewhere and you know someone who lives there, that can save you a lot of money too with flights and hotels. So yeah, hopefully this kind of sums up how to compete on a budget. I've been doing this now for a couple years, and I feel I have, I said, I have my suits, I have my shoes, I have my Protan. So once you have it all, it's not expensive. Looking at next year for me to compete, I will just have to look at my CPA membership, my show fees, and then flights for where I'm going. So realistically, I'm not breaking the bank. I'm not spending a lot of money. I don't buy new shoes every year. I have 2 pairs of shoes. That's all I need. Again, I don't need a new suit, but if it's in my budget, I will buy a new suit, probably from Amnesia Shop again. But there's just ways to cut corners all around, and don't like I said, don't break the bank if you don't need to, and prioritize where you want your money to go, whether it is coaching most of your money or whether it is, like the hotel and whatnot. They just prioritize where you want your money to go. And I would say like the best way I do it is I always I don't wait till like before my show to pay for everything. I always pay it in increments. Like the start of the year, I'll pay my CPA fees. Like when I, before my show, I'll always pay for my show fee like further out in advance. I know some people don't like to do that because they don't know if they're going to be ready in time. But when I have a goal in mind, that's the show I'm doing. That's what I'm setting out to do. Like I said, also, I don't have a lot of options being in Alberta here. Like this next year, I'll have like pretty much one show to pretty much do unless I travel out of province. So yeah. Like kind of pay it all in sums. Don't pay for it all at once. Look for sales. Like I said, try to get discounts. As an athlete, a lot of supplement stores will give you discounts. Try to find if they do like an athlete discount or a competitor discount, because anywhere you can save money is better, especially in this economy. You got to save money where you can, and especially if you do something you love like this, it's going to cost you a lot of money, but you might as well save as much as you can so you can do it for longer and it doesn't break the bank. So if you loved this video, hit a nice little thumbs up at the bottom, like, comment, subscribe, and tune in for my next episode. Maybe we'll do a little preview for what's to come for 2024. Thanks for watching.